This is the bustling town of Amegbo, Nigeria, a place where the air is thick with the aroma of rich, spicy delicacies and where secrets simmer just beneath the surface. In Amegbo, there was no one who didn't know of Mama Chidi's famous buka, a small but vibrant food spot nestled at the corner of a busy market street. Every day, the aroma of her cooking would waft through the air, drawing in hungry men and women like bees to honey. Mama Chidi was proud, her head always held high, with a booming voice that commanded attention. She was the mother of two, Chioma, a tall, fair beauty of 20, and Chidi, a chubby 18-year-old who was as lazy as they come. Despite her outward success, Mama Chidi's household was a mess. Chioma was more interested in chasing after men than learning the art of cooking. And Chidi, well, Chidi was content with doing nothing but eating and playing all day. He was the spitting image of his late father, dark-skinned and short, with an insatiable appetite that matched his mother's cooking prowess, or so everyone thought. Among the many patrons of Mama Chidi's buka was Folake, a beautiful Yoruba woman married to Nnamdi, a successful spare parts dealer. Though their marriage seemed perfect on the outside, it harbored a secret that ground at Folake daily. She couldn't cook to save her life. Nnamdi, who loved his food, had become increasingly distant, dissatisfied with the tasteless meal Folake attempted to prepare. To hide her inadequacy, Folake would sneak to Mama Chidi's buka, buy food, and slyly pass it off as her own. It was a perfect plan, or so she thought. One evening, as Nnamdi returned from a long day at the shop, he announced that his parents would be visiting in a week. His request was simple but daunting. Folake needed to cook for them herself. Panic gripped her as she realized her secret might be exposed. Desperate, she rushed to Mama Chidi the next morning, begging her to teach her how to cook. But Mama Chidi, pridefully and secretive, turned her down with a sneer. Unwilling to give up, Folake decided to take matters into her own hands. If Mama Chidi wouldn't teach her, she would learn on her own. That evening, Folake discreetly followed Mama Chidi back to her buka, keeping a safe distance as she watched the older woman prepare her food. She hid behind a nearby stall, straining to see every detail of Mama Chidi's cooking process. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Mama Chidi moved with the efficiency of someone who had been cooking for years. But as the cooking continued, Folake noticed something strange. The ingredients Mama Chidi used were basic, even clumsy. The pot simmered with a mixture of ingredients that didn't seem to belong together, and yet the smell that began to fill the air was nothing short of mouth-watering. Folake's eyes widened in disbelief. How could such poorly prepared food smell so good? She edged closer, peering around the corner of the store. That's when she saw it. Mama Chidi reached into her blouse, pulled out a small vial, and added a few drops of breast milk to the pot. Almost immediately, the food's aroma intensified, becoming the tantalizing scent that had made her famous. Folake's heart raced. She had uncovered the secret, but it was more than she had bargained for. She quickly retreated, her mind swirling with what she had just witnessed. The day of the visit arrived, and with it, Folake's anxiety reached its peak. Unable to cook and terrified of being exposed, she decided to confront Mama Chidi one last time. "Please, you have to help me," she begged, tears streaming down her face. But Mama Chidi only laughed. "You are on your own, girl." But Mama Chidi's words were like salt in a wound, and Folake's desperation turned into anger. She stormed out of the buka, determined to expose Mama Chidi for the fraud she was. If she couldn't have her secret, neither would Mama Chidi. The next morning, a crowd gathered in the town square, summoned by the town head. Folake had reported Mama Chidi, accusing her of foul play. Mama Chidi stood before the crowd, her usual confidence replaced with unease. She denied the accusations, scoffing at the idea that she was anything but a skilled cook. "Then swear before the deity," the town head commanded. The crowd fell silent, waiting for her response. Mama Chidi hesitated, fear flickering in her eyes. The tension in the air was palpable. Finally, with a trembling voice, Mama Chidi spoke. I cannot swear." The crowd erupted in murmurs, and the town head pressed on. "Then confess the truth before the gods reveal it for you." Realizing there was no way out, Mama Chidi began to speak, her voice shaking. "After my husband died, his family took everything. I had nothing left, not even food for my children. I was desperate, so I turned to the water goddess for help." The crowd leaned in, captivated by her word. "She promised me that my food would be the best in town, but there was a price." Mama Chidi continued, tears now streaming down her face. "I had to add a few drops of my own breast milk to every dish. It made the food sweet, irresistible, but it also stole the destinies of those who ate it." The crowd gasped in horror as Mama Chidi fell to her knees, sobbing. The town head looked grim. "You have confessed to a grave sin. The gods will judge you." Before anyone could act, Nnamdi stepped forward, his face contorted with anger and confusion. "Why did you investigate Mama Chidi Folake?" he demanded, his voice barely controlled. Folake's heart pounded in her chest. She had been so focused on exposing Mama Chidi that she hadn't thought about the consequences for herself. With nowhere to run, she confessed, I couldn't cook, so I bought her food and passed it off as mine." The crowd turned to Folake, and Nnamdi's anger boiled over. "You deceived me all this time," he roared, betrayal evident in his eyes. Seeing her chance to shift some of the blame, Mama Chidi shouted, "She's been buying my food every day, pretending it was her own." The crowd murmured in disbelief, and Nnamdi's fury knew no bounds. "Pack your things and leave my house," he thundered, his voice echoing through the square. Humiliated and heartbroken, Folake had no choice but to leave. As for Mama Chidi, the townspeople, now fully aware of her dark secret, turned against her too. She was dragged from the square, beaten, and later arrested by the police. Her once thriving buka was closed, her reputation in tatters. In the end, Both women paid the price for their deception. Their lives forever changed by the secret they had tried to keep hidden. And in Amigbo, the tales of Mama Chidi and Folake became a cautionary story, a reminder that in the pursuit of success, there is always a price to pay. Kindly leave a comment on the lesson you learned from this story. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.